Welcome to this community dialogue. I'm Melinda Arndt. I'm here with Lucinda Hall. We're going to be talking about Taizé singing here in Fairfield. It's a singing that happens every first and third Tuesday of the month in the lobby of the Sondheim Theater by the big angel stained glass window on the south end. And we will repeat this information at the end of our little talk. It's open to anybody who likes to sing. It's really simple singing, a lot of it short rounds or canons, and that we learn systematically from Anne Bosold, our fearless leader who collects the songs and chooses them. And Lucinda and I go back quite a ways from singing in the St. Gabriel choir and a few other throw-together choirs with Denise Gallagher. But I am going to ask Lucinda to fill us in more about Taizé singing. I knew nothing about Taizé, where that came from. I just like to sing.
So the Taizé songs came from Roger Schütz, Father Roger Schütz, who started an ecumenical brotherhood in Taizé, France. Now, ecumenical means all religions. It was Christian-based, and they sang songs based on the Psalms, which they took translations from the 1400s and used those for lyrics for singing. He started it way back in 1940, so this was during World War II. Now, Father Roger, Brother Roger, he calls himself once he started the group. He lived in Switzerland, but it was just a short hop over the border into France. And he wanted to start this brotherhood of, men from all the different Christian religions who could get together and be together and work for peace and worship together in a way that was not defined by any particular religion. And he went to this little place in Taizé, France, and he was looking at this land, and he ran into a woman who begged him to buy the land. She said, "Please buy the land, we're so alone here." And of course, that touched his heart. So he did buy the land, but the war was, really heating up. So he went back to Switzerland, where he sheltered refugees from World War II and saved a lot of people's lives. Then in 42, as the war was still in progress, but kind of winding down, he went into Taizé to begin his brotherhood. And they sang songs based on the Psalms, and then after a while, he pulled in two other priests, Father Joseph Guélagneux, and then a French composer, Jacques Berthier. And they wrote most of the songs then that we now know of as Taizé. They're short songs. They have either the Psalms or really short scriptures as the lyrics. And they would sing them over and over again and then just kind of settle down in a moment of silence afterwards. The idea being to take a meditative or a contemplative space after the singing. The Taizé group now is kind of a pilgrimage site.
In France.
It's in France, but from all over Europe, people will walk, and they call them pilgrims because they walk with a backpack on their back. And they will walk then to the Taizé spot and be in one of the worship services. So it's a very lively and
very current.
Loving group, and it's very current now. In fact, one of our members spent some time in France, and when she came here to Fairfield, she got together with Anne Bosold and asked her to start a Taizé group. And so Anne did. And we're grateful for that because it gives us a chance to sing these pretty little songs.
And Anne Bosold, for those who may not know her, did major in music, and she loves music, has a wide music background. She does play the piano and organ for us at St. Gabriel's, and she's also plays fiddle and does, leads a contra dance fiddle band group, and plays at the Irish Jams at Paradiso on Sunday. Very accomplished musician. So she has chosen songs. I think most of what, since I've been attending, that she's chosen are pieces that are old Latin pieces, as well as like once in a while we'll sing, the one with the
Italian.
Vondoma.
Yeah, there's Italian
Orléans, Bonjancy,
and French
Notre-Dame,
and Spanish. And that was one of the points of Taizé, was to have it in several different languages.
I'm just wondering, I don't know if, since I've been going, if any of the songs we've done have been these more modern, these ones composed for Taizé. We're doing the Mozart Magnificat, we're doing Benedictus, just these old 1500, except for a few modern, like even a spiritual or a gospel one that we did recently that everybody happened to know. But other than that, I don't know. Maybe we'll ask her, can she get her hands on any of these more modern ones, or does it even matter?
I think the ones that we get, which are 2 lines of music, those are the modern Taizé.
Oh, okay.
Ones. And they purposely do it in the Latin, or we have one in Italian and one in French and one in the Spanish. And the thing is in the Brotherhood now, they have 100 brothers, and they're from 30 different countries. So they like to do everything in different languages.
Neat. I actually had presumed that Anne had arranged those pieces, since I know she's quite capable. I didn't realize that they were from these more modern, 50, 60 years ago was more modern than the 1400s.
Well, usually Anne tells us when it's one of her pieces. And also, it'll say arranged by Anne Bolsold off in the upper right-hand corner. And there's only a few of those.
Well, I don't mind where the music comes from. It's just such a joy. So far, there have been anywhere from 5, 6, 8, 9 people coming. It happens to be all women, but men are certainly welcome to come. But 9:30 to 10:30 on Tuesday morning, the first and third Tuesday of the month, a person has to have that time slot available. So that's when we happen to meet.
So I like singing together because it's singing, and that's where you're a part in a whole.
Yes.
You bring your one little voice there, and then you join with these, could be 2, I've been one where there's just been 2, to 7 women, and it makes this beautiful wholeness.
It does, singing.
And it's bigger than just my voice. And so I can sing and participate, but also then I get to listen. And I hear, if we're singing in unison, then we tend to repeat it so that we know it. And so you hear this one big voice, and it resonates in the space.
It does. It's a great space there.
Well, it's a very fulfilling experience to have. And then when we sing a canon, or when we sing in rounds, then I try and kind of lift myself out of the music and singing to listen to the harmony, because the harmonies tend to be really pretty. They tend to be like just a third above, and that's it's a very coherent harmony, and so it's really pretty to listen to. So that's a treat.
I think I have always loved choral singing, either in large choirs or small groups, because of what you mentioned, the unity of the voices, and it's a vibrational experience. And as you say, so much more than just one's own voice, but the blending and the strengthening of that vibration when we're in unison. And then breaking, and we'll just sing through a few times till everybody knows it, and Anne will say, okay, you 2, you 3, you 2, or however many people there are.
To break it into parts.
She'll break it into some parts so that we can
that's when we sing
do
around.
The rounds.
Now, sometimes Anne just drops into the alto.
Yes, a few of the songs have that, and another one of our choir members has a lot of...
that's always really pretty, too. And occasionally we get some songs, especially if you have one by Schubert or Mozart, where there'll be an interesting dissonance for just a couple of voices in the alto. And it's just, you kind of go, oh, wow. And then it goes back into a third, and okay, now we can just settle down again.
Yeah.
But it's part of the interest of the thing, too. Music is actually very mathematical in terms of having thirds or fourths or sevenths, and occasionally just like a half a note dissonance. And it's very wholesome, too. You know, they say that singing uses your whole brain. And so it's a lovely way to get in touch with yourself.
Right. And just, it's a great way to spend an hour. I always leave feeling very uplifted, you know, just, and happy to have shared that experience with other people. And, well, and I think really, we don't think about it consciously, oh, I'm going to go vibrate my vocal cords in my body, but that is what's causing the effect.
Yeah. And it's very uplifting, too. I don't know if you've ever sung in the Latin, but the sounds are very open and pretty. And it's very easy to sing in the Latin.
Even if you don't know Latin, I did not study Latin. I have to learn the words, and then it's easy.
Yeah, well, Anne is such a good teacher.
Yeah,
so
and they're simple. They're very simple words.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's very uplifting, too, because you have the beauty that you create. You create beauty when you sing. And then those very lovely open sounds when you're singing in the Latin. And you feel very elevated, and it's kind of a high that's nice to take with you for the rest of the day.
It is. It totally is. So we wanted to let you know this is going on in case any of you would like to join in. I think Werner came, he happened upon us one particular Tuesday and asked if he could come back and record, which he did, and so he's posted, if you look somewhere amongst all of the wonderful Werner creations, you'll find some little bits of our singing, and then he's interspersed some lovely photos. You're not just looking at us singing, except for once in a while. So that will give you a tiny flavor of it, or just welcome to come along and join in. Again, it's the first and third Tuesday of each month, and once you come
at 9:30 in the morning.
Yes, 9:30 in the morning is important, and we just go for about an hour, and then if you like it, and we'll be happy to add you to the email list. She's very good sending out an email a couple days ahead saying that we are coming up on a Tuesday.
And it's at the Convention Center at the Angel Window.
Yes, at the Parsons End, the big Angel Window. Directionally, it's the south end. Where those two big angel windows are that came out of the Barhide Chapel.
And there's really good acoustics in that place.
Yeah.
It's a great place to sing.
It does. It makes us sound great and feel great. So you're hopefully now know a little bit more about Taizé singing here in Fairfield. Thanks for joining us for this community dialogue.